call and such a fitting way to start our meeting. It is with great pride that I introduce Susan Greenbaum, Chief Executive Officer of JFCS. Through her intelligence, her dedication, her profound understanding of our community's needs, Susan has done an incredible job leading JFCS, especially through this challenging year of the pandemic. Her hard work focuses on all areas of the agency, ensuring our continued growth and our ability to support all who reach to us for help. On a personal note, it has been an absolute pleasure spending this year in meetings and conversations with Susan each week. Our meetings are always informative and engaging. Her passion for the agency's success is always evident. Susan, thank you for all you do and for sharing your thoughts with us tonight. Thank you.
The rabbi left us, but I wanted to thank the rabbi, and I especially want to thank Temple Emanu-El also for all of their hospitality always. It was the worst of times, it was the best of times. It was the season of darkness, it was the season of light. It was the winter of despair, it was the spring of hope. I'm paraphrasing from A Tale of Two Cities. As I gathered my thoughts for tonight, I couldn't think of a more apt description of the past year in the life of JFCS. As I reflect, my mind is swimming with swirling thoughts, chaotic images, seriously wondering where we have been, because where we have been has been new and strange and traumatic in innumerable ways. And now in June of 2021, we can feel hope and see light and marvel at how all of us have done coming through it all. I'm thrilled to see you who have joined us here at Temple Emanu-El tonight, and welcome to all of you who are Zooming in. A year ago at our last annual meeting, Zoom was a new amazing tool for all of us. We were just getting used to it, learning how to use it. And now it's an invaluable enhancement that enables all of us to be together, at least virtually in some way, very, very often. During this past year, as the pandemic continued, at JFCS, we were challenged with fast-growing numbers of referrals in every area of service. The people in our community, not different from any other community in the US, experienced isolation, an overlay of mental health issues on top of the typical ones, unemployment and food insecurity at rates and intensity that we have never seen, and new psychosocial challenges emerging for children, teenagers, and parents as school attendance, hybrid and virtual learning created all kinds of problems that no one had ever dealt with before. There was no playbook, no instruction manual, no history or experience in anyone's background that could guide us. In my role, every day was a new adventure in navigating JFCS through new waters with my amazing staff team and our incredible leadership. In retrospect, what has happened is our response to the growing needs of so many in our community is nothing less than miraculous, but somehow not surprising. First, our Northern New Jersey Jewish community is so strong and proved to be united in grappling with all that was on our communal plate. Our sister agencies and our community synagogues, coordinated by our federation, supported one another in any and every way possible. Federation and its Planning and Allocations Committee ensured JFCS from the beginning that funding for emergency needs and food insecurity would be provided as the need grew. And it did grow, and they have funded every penny that we've needed. We are deeply grateful for this partnership. Also, Bergen County, with the leadership of Tracy Zor, created a coalition of providers to ensure that resources were shared and a new forum emerged for mutual support and coordination among all social service agencies. In tandem with communal efforts and government support, you, our supporters, stepped up with your donations, your volunteer hours and days and weeks, albeit we were all masked and frightened. All of you, coupled with JFCS staff at every level, worked tirelessly and selflessly to keep thousands of our most vulnerable safe and nurtured and fed and cared for in so many ways. The merged JFCS, born 4.5 years ago, has evolved in a culture of serious strategic thinking. We are an agency of cooperation and commitment. We live and work in a value system of service. During the course of this time, we have grown in capacity and strength, thanks in large part to our successful participation in the Preside initiative, and our resulting impact and reach have grown. Having secured our new fund development and grantsmanship functions just 2 years ago, with exemplary professionals and a dynamic and excited committee, we were unknowingly prepared for the unimaginable and continued to be every day. I could not be prouder of the decisions and choices that our staff and leadership have made during this past year to broaden our engagement in our very complex community and to maximize our effectiveness, especially in crisis. For me, when I speak at an annual meeting, the centerpiece is when I get to thank the universe of people that makes JFCS run, that resulting in service to thousands of people who need our help every day. That universe has at its core the staff of JFCS. Many of you are sitting here and many of you are on the screen. Our staff team has grown as the needs of our community have grown. With this growth, professionalism, responsibility, and compassion remain hallmarks of our work, and staff at every level contribute to the delivery of more than 1,000 hours of psychotherapy each month, compassionate case management to more than 900 seniors living in their homes or apartments, and more than 700 families receiving food and sustenance at our corner market, to name just some of what goes on at JFCS. Our staff is extraordinary, and that became clearer than ever as I watched them lay aside their own fears and discomfort around the pandemic to do their work, the work of caring for others and enabling others to find new hope and light. I am so grateful to my staff every hour of every day. Please join me in recognizing each one of them and all of them as a harmonious team that share a commitment to helping those in need and to always supporting one another. As always, I'm indebted to my leadership, the JFCS Board of Directors, and our honorary board for their loyalty, support, diligent focus, and above all, trust in me and our amazing staff team. Our committees have been extremely active and productive, even virtually. The hard work of our network of chair people and committee members is evident in the success of our annual fund and Wheels for Meals, our ever-evolving governance practices, superior fiscal oversight, and the consistent pursuit of excellence in all of our programs and services. This year, 6 of our board are stepping down, and we will be talking about them later, each after a long tenure of hard work, each having made significant contributions to the growth and development of our agency, and each having participated in the successful creation of the new JFCS. This will always be a huge piece of their legacy. I am happy to say that they have all promised to remain engaged, and I acknowledge, sadly, that board membership is not indentured servitude, and they definitely deserve a rest. I will truly miss each one of you at the board table, though, and I personally want to thank you for all that you have done to support me. I am also thrilled to be, is Sarah here? I'm thrilled to be welcoming Sarah Nannis onto our very special board. I really look forward to watching Sarah's integration onto our board Your enthusiasm, generosity of time and spirit, and clear understanding of our mission are inspiring. Rachel, this first year of your presidency, our partnership has been quite a year. It is a delight to work with you and to lead with you. We have accomplished much, yet we have far to go. Yashar Koa, and thank you for your thoughtful and deliberate and very level-headed approach, especially when I need that balance and perspective. Onward and upward, Rachel. As all of you peruse the pages of our annual report, those of you on Zoom should have a draft on your email in your inboxes. Please think about and feel appreciation as I do to all of our donors and volunteers, to our professionals and support staff who make the work of JFCS possible. Behind each number is a child, an adult, a senior, or an entire family. Some of them could be you or me. For anyone in trouble, whether emotionally, mentally, or financially, or possibly unemployed, isolated, hungry, or lonely, the world and even northern New Jersey are frightening places. And people who are vulnerable in any way, and often their families as well, need help. The current state of JFCS is that we are totally prepared, expansive, creative, highly professional, compassionate, and honored to meet the mental health and social service needs of all who come through our proverbial doors. All of us, all together, do nothing less dramatic than moving mountains every day, because helping a child or an adult or a family to find a new path of help, of health and hope is indeed miraculous. Thank you.
Hi. So, as already mentioned, JFCS has been able to meet the increased need for service without any hesitation or hiccups. We cannot do this without our staff, donors, supporters, and lay leaders. But there is one unique group of people that has helped us fulfill our mission and continues to help in a very pragmatic way, that is our core of volunteers. As our needs for volunteers has increased, so has requests to volunteer at JFCS. This past year, over 4,100 hours of volunteer work was performed at JFCS. We are extremely grateful to all our volunteers always. But tonight, however, we are recognizing and honoring one volunteer in particular, Andy Benesch. When Andy retired, he wanted to give back to the community by volunteering. He reached out to JFCS to offer his time and effort because our mission spoke to him. Andy began delivering kosher Meals on Wheels at the end of 2019. After only a few months of delivering meals, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The pandemic did not deter Andy from his commitment to JFCS and our clients. Rather, it had the opposite effect. Andy took on additional deliveries for JFCS during the pandemic. We would not have been able to help as many people get vital food supplies over the past year without him and others like him. Andy says that he feels best about his volunteering experience when he sees how meaningful the food and the deliveries are to our clients. One client who's in their 90s said, "Kosher Meals on Wheels is priceless for people our age, and specifically in this challenging time. I thank you for doing it." We're extremely grateful for everything Andy has done for us since he started in 2019, and are delighted to present him with this year's Jewish Family and Children's Services of Northern New Jersey Volunteer of the Year Award. Andy, will you come up? First of all, take a picture here.
Andy, thank you so much.
We're looking over there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Here, come in front of the computer. Come in front of the computer for a second so everyone on Zoom can see you. Great, thank you. Wonderful. Okay. That's all you had to do, smile for the picture here. This is a bag for you. Great, thank you.
Mazel tov, Andy. Thank you for all you do for our Kosher Meals on Wheels program and the clients that the program serves. Susan, thank you for your beautiful and meaningful comments. And Susan and I didn't share our notes ahead of time, and you will hear that we kind of share a telepathic brain because some of our sentiments are very, very similar. The tireless dedication of the entire board and its partnership with professional staff is instrumental to JFCS's success. Tonight, we acknowledge with gratitude the board members who have decided to step down to join our honorary board. In conversation, as each member told me of their decision, the resounding emotion the members shared was satisfaction. Satisfaction in the knowledge that the agency is on a strong, positive path forward. And as one member said to me, my work here is done. It is my privilege to introduce three of our past presidents to do the honor of sharing a few words about these devoted individuals. Please welcome Shira Feuerstein, Debbie Harris, and Sue Ann Levin.
Okay, so the first person that I would like to speak about is my dear friend Joan Krieger. Joan joined the board of JFS and NJ in approximately 2008. We're not entirely exactly sure, but it was well before the merger, and she thinks it was when David Goodman was president. Joan has served continuously on the BFA committee and has committed to continuing to serve in this capacity as she steps off the board. Joan has also been an effective fundraiser, especially with our Wheels for Meals Ride to Fight Hunger, in addition to the gala and the ad journal. On behalf of the entire board, I want to thank Joan for her many years of service and commitment to our community, and especially to the agency. We look forward to your continued support and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Please come up to accept a little gift. You couldn't accept it on Zoom. I kidnapped Joan today. Wait a minute. Thank you. This is for you, so you can remember us. Okay. And the other board member I would like to speak about is another dear friend of mine, Gail Lowenstein. Unfortunately, Gail was not able to join us tonight. I hope you're there on Zoom. I can't tell. Gail joined the board of the former JFS and NJ, also well before the member, in approximately 2010. Gail has served on the Services Committee and has chaired the Holocaust Survivor Services Committee and Cafe Europa for many years, as well as serving on the BFA committee. So she's been very busy and has really contributed a lot to the agency. In addition, Gail has also been active and successful in our fundraising for our gala, ad journal, and bike ride. On behalf of the entire board, I want to thank Gail for her many years of service, if you're there, and your commitment to our community and especially to the agency. We look forward to your continued support and wish you all the best. And if this will come back. Gail, I'd like to present this to Gail.
Good evening, everybody. I have the privilege of presenting to two people. Eileen Gelman, who I see. Give a big wave, Eileen. I see you. Eileen, there she is. Okay, great. It's a privilege to be here to do this. So Eileen began her involvement on Professional Services Committee, and she brought a wealth of information. Being a social worker, she brought a lot to the table. Eileen was then president from 2009 to 2012. Her knowledge for the agency was always apparent, and her love for the agency is always apparent. Her warm smile and positive outlook was always there. I was new to the board in 2009, her first year as president, and I was fortunate to have Eileen as a mentor and as a friend, and the warmth was evident. I have a lot of respect for her joining the board. So Eileen truly understands and believes in our mission. And of course, Eileen, we know that you will remain involved On behalf of everyone, we want to thank you for all your years of hard work and support and service, and thank you very much. On the screen. Okay, we can do
It's
that.
2021.
So what do you?
Stand next to the screen.
Oh, okay. Let me take off my glasses. Okay.
All right.
I have the privilege of also presenting to Barry Feigenbaum. Barry began his involvement as a member of Budget and Finance Committee. I believe when I was president, I believe is when Barry started, so it all comes around. Barry has been a board member since 2014. His vast financial knowledge and expertise has always been vital to all our committee meetings. And Barry is the one at the table who never hesitates about probing really into the lines of our financial statements, and we're ever grateful for that. Barry has been a strong advocate for JFCS and the TNEC community, and we really appreciate all your efforts. We look forward to your continued involvement and support of the agency. You always have a seat at the Budget and Finance Committee table, and thank you, Barry, for your years of service. Come up and get your award.
Yeah, that. Thank you. Yes.
Great.
Here's your back.
Hi, everyone. I have the honor of paying tribute to our departing board member, Bruce Egger. Bruce joined the board of JFS Bergen in 2008, 13 years ago, which means basically that he is leaving us just as he became a bar mitzvah board member. We're sending him off into the world as an adult. During all of those years, Bruce has served on almost every committee at some point, including for many years on the Budget and Finance, on Nominating and Governance. He served as chair of the Development Committee when I joined the board, and thanks to his leadership, became very involved in development myself, and he even began the legacy program for our board members while he was chair of that committee. He also served as secretary of the executive committee and as a board member of our foundation. And on top of all that, Bruce generously gave up so much of his time and expertise doing pro bono legal work for the agency, reviewing and drafting contracts, bylaws, everything. And if you know what lawyers do, that is just an unbelievably priceless gift that he gave to the agency all those years. When I think of Bruce, I think of an eminently decent, compassionate man who was always so visibly moved by the individual stories of the people we helped at board meetings. His caring and leadership extend beyond JFCS to so many other community organizations, including as past president of this synagogue. Bruce, we know you love to be involved in all these organizations, and we are so grateful and thank you for giving us so much of yourself over the years. Last, but by no means least, Jeffrey Lewis. Jeffrey has served in so many roles at both JFS Bergen and then at JFCS. It's hard to keep track, and I'm not going to list them all, just the highlights. He too has served on virtually every committee, both standing and ad hoc. He served as secretary of the board, vice president of the board, treasurer of the board, and of course, ultimately as president of the board. And during his tenure, he was responsible for leading this agency in some monumental decisions, changes and progress that required no small amount of fortitude, courage, and vision, and he led us so well in those changes. I remember the huge smile you had on your face, Jeffrey, at the annual meeting where you passed the baton onto your successor, Shira. It was a well-earned smile, and we all smiled back at you in gratitude. Yet at the same time, when most would have rested on their laurels, sat back and enjoyed the coveted role of immediate past president, he agreed to go on and serve another 4 years again as treasurer and chair of the Budget and Finance Committee. And that was in addition to all of his other committee work, including governance and strategic planning, all big jobs. I can say personally, as president, I relied heavily on your example, Jeffrey, as a leader and on your private counsel. And I know we all relied at every board discussion on your wisdom, your thoughtfulness, and your compassion. And throughout all those years, we are so grateful for yours and Karen's endless generosity. It is safe to say that while a new generation of board members might not get to know you or the details of the amazing contributions you made, but they will certainly reap the rewards of your legacy, as will, more importantly, the entire community that we serve. We're sad to see you leave the board, but grateful that you will continue your invaluable contributions as a very active member of several JFCS committees. It's an honor to thank you and wish you well on behalf of the entire board.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shira, Debbie, and Sue Ann, for your incredible words, and to the departing board members. They summed it all up so beautifully. Your contributions and your legacy will be long lasting. So thank you so much. At our May board meeting, we elected our incoming board. As I call your name, if you are here, please stand. If you're on Zoom, please wave. Elected to a 2-year term as our returning board members, Shira Feuerstein, David Goodman, and Beth Nadell. Returning officers elected to a 2-year term, Liz Cole, Liz Cole, Vice President, Sari Gross, Vice President, Ron Rosenzweig, Treasurer, Paula Shaman, Treasurer. And a very, very warm welcome to our new board member elected to a 2-year term, Sarah Nannis. As Susan said, already an active member of the JFCS family. Sarah's a major donor, a Meals for Wheels committee member, a Night of 100 dinner host, and she's used her marketing skills and knowledge to support our development team. Thank you so much, Sarah. We're so grateful to have you join the board. I'm honored to declare all of the duly elected board members and officers to be installed. On a personal note, I am honored to sit at the board table with you. What a year it has been. What a year. As we emerge from the limitations and the restrictions of a COVID world, as many of you, I have found myself reflecting on all that's transpired and the dramatic impact COVID has had on every measure of life. As it pertains to JFCS, my emotions are bittersweet. I'm deeply concerned and saddened by the significantly increased number of people who have come to us for assistance and the overwhelming need that has surfaced during this crisis. And yet, at the same time, I'm deeply proud of the adaptability of our staff, the growth of our agency, and our ability to support everyone who came through our door. Susan thanked the entire staff for their remarkable work, and I would like to reiterate her sentiments. On behalf of the board and to all those that the agency serves, thank you. Through the most uncertain year, thank you for putting JFCS first. Thank you for serving those in need when you had your own needs to manage. And thank you for supporting those with fears and anxiety when yours were likely heightened as well. Thank you for maintaining your focus, your professionalism, your compassion, and your empathy. You are the heart and soul of JFCS. To the board, thank you for your unending commitment to the stability and growth of JFCS. Your dedication to the agency and the insight and the oversight that you provide is valuable as we work together with the professionals to ensure that JFCS is the best it can be. The scope of the agency's work is comprehensive, and so many individuals deserve specific thanks and acknowledgement. And of course, for the sake of our time this evening, to each committee chair, committee member, volunteer, donor, honorary board member, please accept my most heartfelt appreciation for your partnership and devotion, your time, and your meaningful contributions emotionally, intellectually, and philanthropically to JFCS. As we start the summer and collectively take that deep, long, cleansing breath, when I also think about JFCS, I find myself looking forward, excitedly looking forward to the agency services provided in our office, our in-person celebration on October 24th, the in-person night of 100 dinners, which will happen, which were postponed from March of 2020, and the in-person committee and board meetings that will begin to fill our calendar. But I'm also looking forward, looking ahead to our new goals and to the work that needs to be done to ensure our service capacity and financial future as we continue to build the strength and impact of the agency. At last year's annual meeting, I spoke about searching for the silver linings during the early months of COVID. It is impressive to see how JFCS has turned those silver linings into significant opportunities. The inability to hold in-person events was certainly disappointing, and we'd hoped that the silver lining would be the development of our annual fund. That becomes the understatement of the universe. The inaugural annual fund has proven to be a game changer for our future. We are beyond grateful for the tireless work of our development department, headed by Chief Development Officer Michelle Welikoff, and the Development Committee chaired by Suzette Diamond. Your leadership and collaboration set the tone and the pace for our annual fund. We celebrate the substantive accomplishments that have helped spread the word about JFCS and encouraged returning and new donors to give generously in support of the agency's vital work. This is just the beginning. I'm looking forward to seeing how the annual fund continues to flourish. The annual fund, the Wheels for Meals Ride to Fight Hunger, and our celebration of JFCS are important ways to ensure the economic stability of our agency today. I ask you to look forward, to look ahead, to think about how you can support JFCS into the future. Endowment and legacy giving are two charitable opportunities that will help ensure JFCS has the capability to continue to be the safety net for our friends and neighbors in need. My mom, Arlene Herman, my husband, Andy, and I are grateful to have established the Herman Chef Family Endowment in memory of my dad, Howard Herman. This is JFCS's first endowment and supports the pillar of mental health. I was taught by my grandparents and my parents that seeing the impact of your charitable dollars is a uniquely satisfying experience. There's no better feeling than giving with a warm hand. As in all the lessons they taught me, they were right. A JFCS endowment or legacy gift is a gift that keeps on giving, supporting the stability of the essential services in our agency long after we are gone, and a beautiful way to memorialize your value of giving. It's a true win-win. As I enter the second year as president, I'm also looking forward at the future of JFCS lay leadership. When I joined the board about 8 years ago, I never saw how my role would evolve. I'm thankful to serve in this manner. And again, I ask you to look forward to how you can become part of this intricate fabric of people who give of themselves to help others. Become a volunteer, join a committee, and consider growing your involvement towards board membership. Board engagement is mutually beneficial. As a board member, your expertise and knowledge will enhance the organization, and in return, the personal fulfillment of contributing to a cause greater than yourself is deeply rewarding. Just as we plan for the financial longevity of JFCS, it's incumbent upon us to safeguard the continuity of our lay leadership. I hope you'll join me and look forward to and for JFCS. I hope you'll see the ways you can positively affect JFCS and act to become an impactful part of this vital agency today and for tomorrow and for the tomorrow after tomorrow. Once again, I want to thank my treasured family, Andy, Lauren, Matthew, and Tracy, and my mom, Arlene, for their love and unwavering support of my endeavors. As I did last year, I would like to conclude my remarks by reciting the Shehechianu prayer. The prayer that invites us to acknowledge our gratitude for reaching a special moment in our lives. Without question, we are all so thankful to be together in this space and on Zoom on this beautiful night. And we are hopeful as we step into a bright COVID-safe future. I invite you to join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach the sacred day. Thank you all for joining us on this evening. On behalf of the entire JFCS family, and from me personally, I wish you a healthy, safe, joyful summer filled with everything that makes you happy and alongside the people you love the most. For those of you on Zoom, we will be ending our meeting soon. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again and in person. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah. Night. Bye. Also.